Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, 16-year-old Carmelita resident remains in a coma after he is flung off his bicycle by an incoming vehicle. Minimum wage increase to take effect on January 1st, 2023. John Saldivar investigated by the Belize Police Department and members of his own party. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, November 29th, 2022.
Ever since I was a kid, I've dreamt of going to Mars. You can keep my dream alive.
Come with me. You cannot, under any circumstances, leave my room, okay? Only for 35 days.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with Centaur, your kind of company.
I met Alex on the plane. When I woke up in the morning, he was so alive.
I think they know you're lying.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with Centaur, your kind of company.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Centaur, your kind of company. The Qatar 2022 World Cup is approaching. Start date November 20. Live the emotion of each match.
This man is absolutely mainline to pure footballing magic.
Each great goal.
Again, the medicine man arrives.
And each play.
Watch this hesitation right there. 3 players inside a telephone box, and he don't care.
Through Centaur. Subscribe now. Centaur, your kind of company.
evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. It went under the radar, but reports reaching our newsroom indicate that there was a traffic accident at the entrance of Carmelita Village in Orange Walk immediately after the toll bridge on Sunday evening. The victim, 16-year-old Giovanni Chan, who remains in a coma at the Carl Huschner Memorial Hospital after he was flung off his bicycle as he traveled towards Carmelita Village. The family is tonight worried since Chan's prognosis is grim.
Ya estábamos acostados cuando recibimos una llamada que chocaron a mi hermanito, que se involucró en un accidente. Pero nosotros pensamos que solo nomás así cayó de la bicicleta o así, como sabemos que vatos andan en bicicleta. Pero nos dijeron que no, nos dijeron que él está en Orange Jack, que lo chocaron gravemente, que está en Orange Jack aquí en el Northern Region Hospital y que vengamos a verlo porque tuvo un accidente, lo chocaron. Y cuando dijo de venir mi hermanito, mi otro hermanito, el Dayu Chablé, cuando él vino con mi cuñada, su esposa de él, pues, y mi mamá, cuando dijeron llegar al hospital, no pudieron hacer nada porque él ya lo habían llevado para Belice gravemente, porque él ya estaba haciendo bleed, pues ya estaba sangrando. Y no pudieron hacer nada por el Orange Jack, no tenían recursos, solo tuvieron que llevar a Belice en Carl Huschner. Y ahí le hicieron su CT scan ayer y pues está grave mi hermanito. Sigue grave. No nos dan esperanzas todavía porque dicen que no reacciona. Ahorita mi papá acaba de llegar con mi mamá. Venimos a poner reporte porque nos dijeron que por qué hasta ahorita estamos poniendo reporte. Yo le dije que porque andamos envuelta de mi hermanito. Por eso hasta ahora que Johan vine, que tuve el tiempo, Johan vine a hacer el reporte y ahorita llegó mi mamá y mi papá. Y mi papá personalmente me dijo que mi hermanito no despierta. Sigue en coma y que le dijeron que lo van a tener cooperando. Y esa es la única manera que tienen que hacer, porque la sangre ya está en su cerebro. Y ahorita mi mamá solo vino a dar reporte porque le dijeron que venga a dar su reporte con mi papá. Y luego de eso se va a ir a Belice otra vuelta, porque ella no quería venir, pero le dijeron que tiene que venir a dar reporte porque él no puede venir. Y no solo él se accidentó, no solo él chocaron, sino que hasta otro chiquito lo chocaron también, su mismo amigo de él, pues. El chiquito también está hinchado su pie y ahorita su mamá me dijo que como el niño le duele todo su cuerpo.
According to the family, the vehicle was destroyed. These photos confirm how severely damaged it stayed after it landed on the side of the road when its frontal driver's side wheel barely hanging on. The family is not at all happy with the way the police department has been handling the situation.
Ningún policía había llegado ahí en el accidente. Y después la persona ahorita dice que el del carro que se accidentó, dice que como el carro volteó. No dijeron que accidentaron a dos niños, no dijeron que chocaron a dos niños, solo dijeron que se volteó el carro, que perdieron el control y volteó el carro. Y ahorita el policía le dije la verdad, le dije qué pasó, que chocaron y perdieron. Ellos venían solos en el camino, el carro, no venían otros vehículos, dicen. Solo ellos venían en el camino y el carro bien podía dar vuelta para poder cruzar, pero no directamente ellos lo dio.
Chablé is pleading to the community for financial assistance as her family is in dire need and does not have the monies needed to foot the mounting medical bills.
Todos los que me ven ya me conocen. Mi nombre es Ariani Chablé. Ellos conocen a mi mamá, Elvira Chablé, es de Carmelita. Todos saben mi residencia, los que quisieran donar con algo. Estaríamos bien agradecidos con ellos. Y pueden contactar a mi mamá al número 664-1859, sino a mi WhatsApp mío, que es 661-2486. Y yo estaría muy agradecida con lo que aporten para mi hermanito, porque sí lo necesitamos. Somos una familia pobre Si necesitamos la ayuda para mi hermanito. Solo le pido a Dios que mi hermanito viva, que no se muera. Porque está peleando entre la vida y la muerte. Yo solo quiero que me ayude de oración también, que lo tenga de oración igual a mi mamá, porque mi mamá es una persona enferma y está sufriendo mucho con esto de mi hermanito, porque es el único hermanito, el más chico, pues el único hermanito chico que tenemos. Pedimos su ayuda a todos que quieran cooperar y no solo a la aldea, sino también hasta el pueblo, porque el pueblo, aquí conocen a mi mamá, pues nosotros somos de la familia Gutiérrez, de aquí de Rijac de la Asunción.
No one has been charged for this latest incident. Come January 1st, the Briseño administration will deliver on the $5 minimum wage for Belizeans across the country. Yesterday, at the launch of the online labor complaint system, which we will tell you about further into the newscast, the Minister of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government, Oscar Requena, gave indication that government plans to deliver on the $5 minimum wage as early as January 2023, as the final report has been submitted to the Labor Task Force, PPF Capital Belize Limited, the consulting firm hired by government.
I am still in the process of, going through the reports. So I would prefer to, ensure, for me to be able to comment fairly, I prefer to, ensure that I, complete, the reading of the reports. But I can confirm that yes, the reports are in. We certainly have the situational analysis completed, and we also have the report on the consultation process with the stakeholders. Those are complete.
With the situation analysis completed and with the report on the consultation process with stakeholders on hand, Cabinet will now review the document. But while that takes place, the Belize Chamber of Commerce continues to be concerned that an immediate minimum wage increase to $5 will see many left jobless, as employers will need to dig deeper in their pockets to sustain the increment. According to Requena, this concern is also being looked at.
We work very closely with the Chamber and several other stakeholders. And, we have listened to their concerns, but I believe that the reality, and, Cabinet has studied this very carefully. The reality is that, inflation, the cost of living, there is no doubt that we have to increase the minimum wage. We have to. So we will continue the discussion. I'm certain that at the end of the day, cooler heads will prevail. And at the end of the day, we want to be fair. We want to ensure that the wealth distribution, ends up as much as possible in an equitable manner so that all Belizeans can benefit.
Yesterday, Prime Minister John Briseño also confirmed that the minimum wage increase will come New Year's Day.
We have announced this months ago that this is coming. We have been having these discussions with our opposition. It was a part of Plan Belize, and the minimum wage is going up on the 1st of January.
During the consultation process, the consultant met with various stakeholders across the country, including labor organizations, employers, and employees. During his lengthy defense of his character and reputation last week, Thursday, former Minister of National Security John Saldivar admitted to an error of judgment in using a boat that the United States government gifted to the Belize Coast Guard for personal trips, including taking Lev Derman and others out on a trip to Hunting Key in the Sapodilla Range. Derman is still awaiting sentencing in relation to his conviction for defrauding the U.S. government, gave Saldivar several donations ahead of the 2015 general election campaign under the guise of campaign financing, which is not currently legislated in Belize. Saldivar said he used the money to buy sports equipment, but he also told Jacob Kingston, who testified against Derman at trial, that he was assisting other standard bearers for the United Democratic Party. Saldivar said that none of what he did, in his view, amounted to criminality or corruption, and that the police cannot even contemplate investigating him for any misuse of the boat since he gave the authority for its use as the authorized minister. I don't see how in the world he can try to turn that into a criminal case. There is absolutely no way that he can turn that into a criminal case because I was the minister responsible and I had the authority to do what I did. But Commissioner of Police Chester Williams told reporters on Monday that police have already begun an investigation against Saldivar.
I am beyond contemplating already because the investigation has commenced. So to say I can't even contemplate is already not true because I'm beyond that. Yes, he made mention it might have been, at this time in hindsight, an administrative oversight. But it is the same with Mr. Montero. He was a minister and he gave the permission for the equipments to be used. And despite that, he was still charged. Like I said before, I'm not going to be the arbiter of that. We're just going to do the investigation. I will submit the file to the DPP. And if she believes that there is sufficient, then she give the directive. If she believes that there is not sufficient, then the same.
As to the status of previous investigations against Saldivar, the police found nothing in the evidence obtained from the Utah District Court in the Durham trial to establish that a crime had been committed on the advice of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. John Saldivar is not only being investigated by the Belize Police Department. Members of his own party who have formed a special committee at the request of party leader Shine Barrow are also carrying out an investigation of their own. The U.S. says they've mounted enough documentation of Saldivar abusing his position as a member of government and has even used a gifted Belize Coast Guard vessel to take Lev Derman and others on a trip to Hunting Key in the Sapodilla Range. And in his conversation to the press last week, Saldivar agrees to an error of judgment. Today, chairman of the UDP, Michael Perifeet, indicated that the designation cannot be based only the utilization of the vessel.
I think even he himself said, I think in a press conference he said that, he used the word, it was an error, but it was wrong. It was wrong. If you take a public asset and utilize it for a private purpose, well, then that's wrong. And there's no way of explaining out of that. But I find it hard to believe that if you use a government vessel for a private purpose, I find it hard to believe that on that basis alone, you'll be designated, your wife designated, your children designated, minor child designated. I hardly believe that the designation is based on that. But that, to answer your question, it's wrong. No, you have to ask the PUP that same question. Have they done that within the last 2 years?
That's not the only thing the U.S. State Department has cited. They have cited the bribery allegations, which of course the former minister is totally refuting, but it's not just the Coast Guard.
But what else did they cite? What else did they cite?
They've said that he received bribes for returning the immigration document, whatever kind of thing. But so it's not just the use of the Coast Guard vessel, but I'm saying that no, they didn't go into details and they haven't provided that detail.
Which is nothing. That and nothing is the same thing. You know,
cannot be the same thing.
I believe that Marisol is a serial killer. I believe that you're the new Jeffrey Dahmer. Based on what? Based on what? Based on what? I can allege anything against any of you here right now. Does that make it true? Not because of where it's coming from makes it necessarily true, you know. I mean, we have had policemen in the US choking and killing black people on camera and they still get off. So I mean, what
but it's someone
you have
that has this
so what
perception.
I'm saying, no, man, so I'll give you this.
Those are the kinds of people that you want representing you.
Perception is important in politics, and I'll give you that. That's very, very important. And we have to balance that against being fair. And you cannot just take one side. For example, one side cannot say, but there is no evidence, and then you forget perception. And one side cannot only forget about, focus on perception, sorry, and not even bother to say there hasn't been one piece of evidence brought by anyone to substantiate the allegations that were put in that designation document. You have to at least acknowledge that as well, if you want to be fair.
Inevitable, Saldivar is to appear before the special committee, and his fate within the party now lies in the hands of the 7-member committee.
That's up to the committee. That's up to the committee. We will have, I'm sure, a lengthy discussion on the matter, and I can tell you that without a doubt, the goal will be to make a recommendation that we believe is in the best interest of the UDP. You have to balance fairness as well. So there will be deliberation, there will be a discussion on the matter.
You also have the point where the former minister was in fact supporting that this man obtain or be named honorary consul for Las Vegas on Belize's behalf. So will you look at all of that? Will all of that come back up?
Well, that's up to the committee. They can consider whatever it is they want to consider. It is up for them. Like I said, we will have to look at everything. And writing a letter to the U.S. asking them for information is not the biggest of deal, you know. I mean, small thing. It's part of what we need to assess overall the situation with this particular person. Where it's not like, oh my God, we wrote to Secretary Blinken. Ooh. I mean, it's not that at all. As we sit as a committee, we have to assess a whole bunch of things, and that's just one part of it. So we'll be looking at as much as we need to look at to come to a decision that's in the best interest of the UDP.
But all in all, for Perifeet, there is no evidence to substantiate that John Saldivar acted unlawfully.
When you just say we're designating you and give no evidence and give nothing, we have a right to ask what that evidence is. You have to understand, you know, there has not been a request for extradition, you know. There has not been an indictment in the US, you know. He has not been charged with nor legally accused of anything. So what do you go on? That's I think it's a very different scenario. I get the impression from, because it's a State Department document, I get the impression that it was not an embassy decision down here in Belize, but rather something from Washington, D.C. So maybe it is an investigation that is broader than just the embassy here. I don't know. But like I said, they would have to be the ones to answer that question. Those are the things that we would love. We would love for Secretary Blinken to appear before the committee on Friday to explain what he's doing, or some official from the U.S. to say, look, this is the evidence that we have, because we would like to invite anybody to appear before the committee who would have evidence to support or not support these allegations, because they're important.
Today, the chairman of the UDP also gave his opinion on the Prime Minister's comment that the move against Saldivar by the U.S. is a wake-up call for his cabinet.
When you behave in a certain way in office, there will be a day of reckoning, you know. And you have to understand that how you comport yourself when you're in office is very, very important. Because things may come against you that may be fair or unfair. But you have to be very careful that you go out of your way to not just do the right thing, but also seem to do the right thing. I don't think that if you notice, you don't see the PUP celebrating this at all, because they may very well know that their own day of reckoning may soon come, given their performance and their behavior over the first 2 years of being in government. So if you haven't done anything or haven't done anything to even bring the perception that you're doing anything wrong, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you have been doing what you were not supposed to do, and the world is taking a huge stand on corruption and illegal behavior in office, then you should worry.
As we've told you, the infamous John Saldivar tries to remain afloat after his visa and that of his immediate family members were revoked when the USA State Department designated him. As mentioned, the special committee will decide Saldivar's fate. One person who will not have anything to do with the matter, though, is Esteban Pereira, the former legal mind of the committee, who resigned as the legal advisor of the party.
Well, he has sent me a resignation note that he has resigned as legal advisor for the party. You don't have to be the legal advisor to be on the PAC, but it will be up to him, and I guess we'll be having discussion as to whether or not he wants to continue in that role.
Has anyone else been designated to hold that position?
Not as far as I know as yet. Nothing official.
It is unclear who will replace Esteban Pereira. Belize remains without a labor commissioner, but that could soon change as a new chair for the Public Service Commission is about to be installed.
That process, is about to be finalized. One of the delays with the, finalization of that process is that the Public Service Commission, did not have a chairperson. My understanding is that is about to be completed, that we are going to have a new chair for the Public Service Commission, and once that person is in place, that position of the Labor Commissioner is going to be sanctioned.
Have we identified anyone?
Yes, we do have somebody, but at this point, I don't want to reveal anything until it gets an opportunity to go before the Public Service Commission for approval.
So when do we expect that Public Service Commission chair to be installed, and then following the Labor Commissioner?
Right. What I can say to you is that I think it was about 2 weeks ago. We were informed in cabinet that that person had agreed, and basically we were just waiting for the person to retire, because I understand that the person was about to retire. I believe that the person has now retired, so that process should come through anytime now.
As it relates to the Labor Act, that will soon be revised to avoid issues like those experienced during Hurricane Lisa, when some employers refused to send their employees home during a time of emergency.
We are very much concerned because, to be honest, we have to be fair. And yes, we want our employers and employees, to have a good understanding and a good working relationship. And in this instance, I am certain that, the employees needed to be given time off and so on. That complaint has come to us. We are looking at it very closely. And if you heard in my presentation this morning, we are undertaking a major overhaul of the Labor Act, because these are some of the areas that need to be addressed in the Labor Act. So those are the things that we're looking at, how we can address instances of, concerns like those.
Coming up next, the boxes and boxes of red apples on sale by Belize Camping Experience. Stay tuned.
Your kind of company.
Se acerca el Mundial Qatar 2022, fecha de inicio 20 de noviembre. Viva la emoción de cada partido.
Le quiere hacer un puente al portero, pero este no se deja. ¡Qué leñazo, señores!
De cada golazo. Y de cada jugada.
Y se reanuda el juego con un bote tuya, mía, tenla, te la presto, dámela.
A través de Centaur. Suscríbase ahora.
Centaur, your kind of company.
Win big with Shell. Shell is giving away over $20,000 in prizes this Christmas. One lucky customer will win $6,500 in fuel. Plus, over 40 customers will win either $150 in fuel vouchers or $500 in cash. To enter, spend $40 Belize dollars or more in fuel. Complete the entry form and drop it in the boxes provided. Fuel up with Shell this Christmas for your chance to win. Promotion runs from November 21 to December 31, 2022. Terms and conditions apply. Visit solpetroleum.com/winbig with Shell for more details. Shell trademarks are used by Sol Brands Incorporated under license from Shell Brands International AG.
In its efforts to continue raising funds to carry out its community project, the Rotary Club of Orange Walk is now selling tickets for the raffling of 3 grand prizes. All proceeds of the sale will be invested in the various projects the club has lined up.
The Rotary Club is always trying to see how best we can help the community. So this year we are undertaking a lot of projects, and we realize that we need to do bigger fundraising initiatives. So right now we're doing a big grand raffle, whereby we're raffling a 200 motorcycle with a value of $5,000, and then we have a second prize of a flat screen, and then $300 third prize. So we just want $20 a ticket. It's going to be raffled in April next year. We only got 1,000 tickets, so we would really like the community to come and support and purchase a ticket for any Rotarian.
What has been the response so far?
It has been good. I got to tell you, I think we sell about 50 tickets already, so we're feeling really good. And I know the people believe in what we're doing. Once they see that the different projects that we do, so that you can see the listing there of all the good works or where all the money is going back.
So all the money raised will go towards
Yes, everything is going back to the community.
You can purchase a ticket from any member of the club. Small developing Belize is transforming every day, and one reason to corroborate that is that the Belize Companies and Corporate Affairs Registry's online business registry system is now fully available online. Today, an entire event happened in Belize City to celebrate the incredible stepping stone from manual to now a digital platform.
To where we are now due to the system.
Right. Well, first of all, when we came on board, what we found is we found a manual system where people would go into the labor department offices across the country and make their labor complaints in person. What I would say is that we found a system that was very lacking. To be honest, people would go in and make their complaints, and it would take months or sometimes even a year before they would ever get any kind of feedback. In many instances, they spent a lot of money back and forth, visiting the labor offices, and in many instances, they could not, be able to get a positive outcome out of their complaints. So it was a very system that really lacked a lot of efficiency and adequate and timely feedback to the complainants.
The new system promises to be easy, and that means faster responses to complaints.
We need to ensure that we continue our public education, to sensitize the public on the new portal system, how they can access it, and certainly ensure that, they can upload their information. And once that is done, they are going to be getting, acknowledgement, that the information has been uploaded, and certainly they will be able to follow through, and track the progress of their complaints. And, if they do not get, satisfactory responses in time, they will certainly be able to, follow through.
As is no secret, migrants are all over the country, and they are mostly engaged in the agriculture sector. Diana Locke, head of office at IOM, says this new system protects their rights.
Migrants form a large and important part of Belize's workforce, primarily in the agriculture and tourism sectors. Due to their migrant status, this population of our workforce faces a greater vulnerability to labor rights violations. The LCMS, which has been in law for some time, but primarily paper-based, was not effective. The LCMS seeks to reduce this vulnerability by giving victims of forced labor and other forms of labor violations the opportunity to formally lodge their complaints online with more confidence that the violations they face will be addressed. The LCMS, therefore, will improve labor migrants and nationals' access to national protection mechanisms. At IOM, being in the field, we have seen where access to the internet and Facebook are well within the reach of almost all laborers. With the technical expertise of global IT solutions, the LCMS was developed and piloted. It features a user-friendly interface that will make filing complaints easier for laborers. The development of the LCMS aligns not only with the mandate of IOM and the WHP, but also directly aligns with the Sustainable Development Goal number 10 and the Global Compact for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration, GCM, Objective 7, both of which seeks to reduce vulnerability.
This means then that all the registered services under the Business Name Act Caps 247, Belize Companies Act number 11 of 2022, and Limited Liability Partnerships Act Caps 258 can be in the palm of your hands and therefore saving you time from the long lines and monies that no longer need spending. The user-friendly platform is available at obrs.bccar.bz. We are about to enter the Christmas season, and that means the Belize camping experience is hard at work selling boxes and boxes of large Mexican apples. It's a major fundraiser for the missionary group's programs, especially their summer camps. To get this year's going rate for a box of red deliciousness, we reached out via Zoom to Alexander Perez, the director for the Belize Camping Experience.
As December approaches, we have already been working hard on getting a whole container of apples imported from Mexico. We are selling them by the box in order to raise funds to keep doing our outreach programs with children and youth of Belize City. Christmas for us also means getting as much donations as possible of Christmas gifts that we distribute to the most needed children out in the different communities that we work with. But in order for us to do all of that great work with the kids, we need funding. So which is why we are selling the apple boxes.
For those who want to stock up on apples in time for Christmas, the good news is you can get an entire box at a great deal if you purchase your box of apples tomorrow from the Belize Camping Experience.
The cost for the apples up until tomorrow is $110. We're having a promotion because the regular price is $120 per box. But if people order and pay by tomorrow, they can get it for only $110. And we are based in Belize City, but we deliver countrywide. So in each district, there are different pickup locations that people can access the apples from. All they need to do is call us at our office number 614-3579, and there we tell them where they need to go and all of that. I would like to encourage all of our Belizeans to purchase a box of apples because not only do you get some delicious fruit for Christmas, but you're also able to support and to help us fund this amazing work that we do with the kids.
If you'd like to place an order to support this worthy cause, you can call, text, or WhatsApp BCE at 614-3579. A delegation of officials from the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Transport attended a 5-day technical and knowledge transfer visit to South Korea from November 21st to the 25th, 2022. Knowledge transfer is a key component of capacity building for the Public Transportation Reform Project funded by the Inter-American Development Bank. The delegation participated in lectures and field visits tailored to aid Belize's public transportation development by adopting applicable solutions from South Korea's advancement blueprint on the land transportation sector. The lecture series included an overview of the transportation modes in South Korea, transport policies, data collection, the use of technology in transportation, and transportation trends. The participants were introduced to green mobility for electric and hydrogen vehicles through presentations by top South Korean experts and professionals. The team was able to experience various forms of transportation modes in South Korea, including the metro, bus, ride share, and autonomous vehicles. The lectures also focus on the importance of urban planning and technological breakthroughs for future transportation plans that are being adopted globally. Two Belizean students currently enrolled at the Korea Development Institute Graduate School of International Policy Studies participated in some of the sessions to provide feedback and recommendations as a part of the strategic action plan prepared for the modernization of public land transportation in Belize. Honorable Rodwell Ferguson, Minister of Youth, Sports and Transport, signed a memorandum of understanding with the Korean National University of Transportation, NOT, which includes a scholarship for a master's degree or doctorate in the transport or information technology field. Minister Ferguson, Honorable Gilroy Usher, Minister of State, and Marconi Layal Jr., CEO in the ministry, met with officials from South Korea's Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, and the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transportation to discuss opportunities for collaboration, including Belize being added to the group of about 30 countries that has the opportunity to send a qualified candidate for a 2-year master's program in a sports-related field from the Olympic Sports Foundation. Additionally, conversations will continue on the possibility of funding to renovate one of Belize's sports facilities damaged by Hurricane Lisa. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, November 30th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3newsbz. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.